Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. We are live on Facebook for another episode of Victorious You TV. And I want to make sure that I am sharing this broadcast out to my tribe. So as you come on in, just share this out as well. I have a very special guest. She's actually on the screen with me tonight. You'll see her name right there, Lexi Jones. I'm excited to have my Mag 7 sister and partner on with me tonight. So as I wait for Facebook to build me an audience, I'm going to go to my page and make sure it is broadcasting so everyone can see it. So, yes, it is. And we are live. We are live. And thank you for joining. Hello, Susie. How are you? It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And all right, so I'm here listening to myself over here on my phone. So let's turn the phone off. Hi, Patrice. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. So as people are coming in, I'm just going to ask you to share this broadcast out. We've got some great things to talk about tonight. And I really want you to understand about this whole money business. And hi, Vanessa. Great to see you. And so before I get into my guest and turn it over to her, I want to remind you guys about the Victorious You Conference that is coming up. Hi, Tanika. Great to see you. Victorious You Conference that is coming up on October 5th and 6th. I'm super excited about this conference. I have Tanika Bryant, that is one of my ambassadors. She's on the live. And I have Patrice, that's one of my speakers. And I can't wait to interview Patrice on this broadcast as well. I am trying my best to bring to you all of the speakers. Hi, Kenyatta, great to see you. All of the speakers, so you get an opportunity to hear from their perspective of what they're going to be bringing to the conference. This conference, I'm telling you, is going to be incredible. And I know I didn't even introduce myself. I just assume everybody knows me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to back it up a little bit. And I'm Joan T. Randall, speaker, author, transformational coach. And I have the Victorious You movement. That is my brand. I also have Joan T. Randall Enterprise LLC, which is the parent company to Victorious You. And I am the producer and host of the Victorious You Conference that is coming up on October 5th and 6th here in the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Maxine. Hi, sister. Great to see you. Thank you for joining. So I'm really excited tonight because I want to just give you some updates as to what is going on with the Victorious You Conference. So number one, we have 2 dates, right? VIP day is October 5th. And then the general conference day is October 6th. But we just sweetened the pot for the VIP day. And so now for the VIP day, we will have VIP dinner. And so everyone that's a part of the VIP gets an opportunity to sit with the speakers and the presenters, and you can just ask questions. So it will be something like, you have access to insider tips and everything that they know, the influencers know. You will have an opportunity to ask them, how did they do their business? How did they get here? So that is very special for the VIP guests on that Friday night. We're just going to hang out after the conference. During dinner, you'll have a chance to do that. And after, we go to my suite, and it will just be a hangout in my suite for that night. And then Saturday morning is the general conference. So if you're really, truly interested in going to your next level, in elevating, in exploring, in evolving, in elevating, listen, we were all given gifts and talents, right? And so we have something to share with the world. So don't be like the sower who got one seed and decided to hide that seed because he was embarrassed that he only got one. I was afraid of what people were going to say about him. So he didn't sow it. And no matter what you do in this life, there is some level of work that you have to put in it, right? So when you sow your seed, and think about the seed as something that you love to do, right? When you sow a seed, there's some steps you have to take. You've got to put it in the earth, you got to plant it, you got to water it, you got to take the weeds off, you got to put fertilizer on, and as it grows, you got to take the weeds out again, you got to water it, and you got to take care of it, right? For it to grow into the plant, to grow into that tree. So it's the same thing with your talent and your gifts. You've got to work it. You have got to do some things. You have got to get, the knowledge. You have got to get everything that you need to be able to provide that gift to people who are waiting for you to help them, to assist them, to bless them. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over. First of all, I'm going to introduce my guest. This lady and I have connected now for almost 2 years. And I met Lexi in 2016 when we did Epic for April, our coach. And Lexi and I work side by side in an ambassador role because we love to serve. We're servants from the heart. And from there, Lexi and I were a part of a mastermind group, and we just formed this amazing bond. But not only is Lexi my Mag 7 sister or my magnificent sister, but Lexi's also now a new business partner of mine, which I am just super excited because of her knowledge and the things that this lady has shown me and has taught me since I've been in the group, in the mastermind group, but also since I've been her partner, is amazing. And there's nothing more powerful than knowledge. So I want to turn it over to my sister, my friend, my partner, Lexi Jones. Welcome, Lexi, to Victorious You.
Hey, Joan, it's so great to be here. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited.
Yay, yay, yay. So Lexi, why don't you just tell our viewers or Victorious You viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So hello, everyone. My name is Lexi Jones. I am an international speaker, best-selling author, and a business coach primarily for women, helping them to earn 6 figures in their business in 12 months.
Did you hear that? 6 figures in their business in 12 months. That is what she does. All right. It's all about the money, the money.
Yes.
So Lexi, I know that your journey has been one of hills and valleys, highs and lows. And you didn't just wake up overnight one day and start coaching people to become 6-figure earners. So tell us a little bit about your path getting here to where you are today.
Yeah, absolutely. When I get a chance to share my story, I always tell people that, if you would have asked me sometime before 2012, 2010 or so, if I would have gotten a license to become a financial coach, because I was already doing some business coaching, I would have laughed you like right on out the door, for real, because first of all, I don't like numbers. I don't like them at all. And so, but the thing is, the reason why I do what I do, because you're right, Joan, there are some ups and downs and valleys and things that we go through. And so there was a valley experience that I had that actually led to me doing everything that people see me doing today. In 2008, I lost everything.
Wow.
And when I say everything, I mean almost everything you can imagine. So it started at the time I was married, and it started with my ex-husband losing his job. And, we were okay still because I was working, and actually I was the one who was really the breadwinner, the one who was really making a lot of the money in the house. And so we were okay until I lost my job too. The place where I was working decided, they were going to bring in some new overseers, some new management. And of course, when you're in management, when you're in directorship, you are the first people to go because the new people coming in bring their people with them.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. And so losing that job was extremely devastating. And it just sent a chain of events because, we weren't smart enough to really put money aside or anything like that. We're just young and living life. And so I lost my job, and that led to us having to file bankruptcy. We lost our home, we lost the car. And because our marriage was already having problems and issues in the area of finances, we weren't able to make it through. So now here I am. I am a now single mom, right? Thrust out there as a single mom with 3 small children, trying to figure out, what am I going to do? No home, no car, marriage is done. What am I going to do? And so, you stay with a friend here, you stay with some family. And I picked up some, temp jobs here or there. And eventually, one of those temp jobs was a little bit more permanent and allowed for me to move into an apartment. So me and my 3 children, we moved into this apartment, and literally we just moved in there, right? Like they had their bedroom suites from what they had, in the past, but that was it. There was no other furniture. There was, nothing nice to put on the walls. There was, a little bit of food or whatever. So we were just in there, and I was happy, to finally have my own place. However, I was still devastated from all of the loss and trying to figure out how I was going to dig myself up out of this. Because you all have to understand, Lord have mercy, I was in debt about $300,000 in
Wow.
debt. Okay. So we're talking about, that home, that car, the things that we lost, and my silly self, because everything was in my name when we were married, all that fell on me. So, it was just, I was depressed. I was having this pity party. That's what was going on. Every night I would cry myself to sleep. Just cry myself to sleep every night. And one night, I was going through the usual routine, putting the children to bed and all that kind of stuff. I was coming downstairs to lay out on my living room floor, who still didn't have any furniture, to cry myself to sleep. But this night, the cry was really different. It was really one of those, I like to call it, one of those ugly cries, like one of those gut wrenching cries, right? You're snotting all over the place, and you can't see because all the tears and everything is just flooding your eyes. And so it's one of those, and you don't even care who walks in and who sees what. And the only question that I could ask God at that time was, is this the sum total of my life?
Wow.
Right? Because prior to that point, you're told, go to school, get your education, get a good job, get a spouse, get the house, 2.5 kids, a picket fence, and a pet, right? A dog, cat, or something like that. I couldn't have a dog or cat because I was allergic, so we had fish. But that was, I couldn't understand. So where was I supposed to go? I didn't know. What else after that? When you've achieved that, what else is there?
Right.
So the next morning I got up and the Spirit said to me very clearly, you can do one of 2 things. You can either keep having this pity party, or you can get up. Right? There were no instructions with the get up. But obviously, I got up because I'm here talking to you all and doing the things that I do. But long story short, this was the series of events and the period of time. It was about from 2008 to 2011, the period of time that sent me on this journey of finding out who I was, what I was really here for, and then me determining that I am going to choose the path of entrepreneurship because I am never going to be in this situation again. And that the only path in my mind, in my eyes, for me not to be in this situation again is to be an entrepreneur.
Wow, that is powerful. First of all, it's not easy to get up, and I'm thinking in that moment, you said to yourself, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Because there are the children looking at you for the answers, and you can't stay there forever and throw that pity party on yourself. So it gets to a point where enough is enough, and you have to just get up and you just have to move and trust that your move is going to make way for you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Especially as a woman of faith, you've got to draw onto that faith. And I really noticed that a lot of people that have been into some really difficult situation, they didn't allow sometimes those difficult situations to define who they are. They stood on it. They stood on the situation. They stood on their story, and they used the story as a springboard.
Yes.
They used their situation as the trajectory. Like, God allow you to just like bounce up off of it, just like I'm bouncing off of this and I'm just going to
Yes.
go,
Yes.
time.
Yes.
And this is what I want our audience to understand is that your situation don't define you. As long as you get up and decide that you're going to make a change or going to make a move, that you will be able to just do things that you don't even imagine. Yes, Tanika said, amazing testimony. You have to get up. You've got to get up and you've got to move. So here is another thing. And if you are just joining me, or if you're just joining me for the very first time, my name is Joan T. Randall. I'm a speaker, author, coach, and I am the producer of the upcoming conference, the Victorious You Conference, that will be here in Charlotte, North Carolina on October 5th and 6th. And I'm going to just put on the screen the link to purchase your tickets. It's very easy. It's bit.ly/Victorious Conference. And as you're seeing it move along the screen, just know that you can just go to this broadcast. I'm going to put it in the broadcast as well so that you can see it, and you just go ahead and purchase your tickets. I'm excited to tell you that Lexi will be one of our speakers. Not only is she a speaker, see, she has a special role. Not only is she a speaker at the conference, but she's a workshop facilitator. So I'm working her. I'm working
quite all right.
She has double duty. She sure has double duty for the conference, and I'm super excited to have her with me at this conference. So, Lexi, I want to ask you something else. As Christians, as faithpreneurs, as people of faith that have our business, and that's why I use that term, faithpreneur. There is this saying that says money is the root of all evil. But at the same time, there is nothing that you can do without money, right? And there is really a twist to that whole scripture, because it's not money per se, but the love of money, because you need money to make things happen. And, right. God, our Father, expects us to have abundance. Right? So to share with me what that means to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love talking about that particular piece, because we, a lot of our limiting beliefs surrounding money can sometimes come from, the faith institutions that we were brought up in.
Yes.
And like you said, people will misquote and say, well, money is the root of all evil. But the truth is, and what the scripture says, is that the love of money is the root of all evil. So in other words, if you're putting money before God, if you're putting money, before family, that's when it starts to become the evil, right? That the scripture talks about. But the truth of the matter is that God wants us to live abundant lives. He wants us to be right in good health and to prosper. There are tons of scripture that talks about how God wants the best for his children. He wants to give his children good gifts and things of that nature. And, being an entrepreneur is something that is ordained by God. Yeah. And, people, I don't know, they quickly forget about all these other different stories in the Bible that illustrate that. Like, in the Old Testament, where the woman was with the prophet, and she was telling the prophet, she had her husband just died, and, she's worried about how she's going to take care of her home and her children and things of this nature. And the prophet says, well, what do you have? What do you have? And so she says, well, listen, all I got is this little bit of oil, this is all I have, right? And she probably was looking at that like, I really can't do anything with this, But the prophet told her, look, go ask for some, jars and things to put this oil in. He says, get in there, close your doors, right? Close your doors. And I have to think to myself, he's telling her to close that because people will say all kinds of crazy things when you are trying to do what God has told you to do. He says, close your doors and, begin to fill up those jars with oil. She filled up those jars with oil. And then she says, okay, now what? He says, go sell it. You know what I'm saying? Take what you have. Go sell it. I gave you what you have. Speaking, in terms of God, I said, I give you what you have, so that you could sustain yourself and your family, right? And you're being a blessing to others, because certainly people out there who need the oil, want the oil or whatever. You're providing a solution for them, but you are sustaining your family. You are sustaining your family. And so we have to be careful in the church, how we talk about people, treat people, explain about people who are just trying to make money in their lives so that they can be of service to others and sustain their families. Money is not the root of all evil. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil.
Yes, ma'am. And that reminds me when you said, what do you have? And she had the oil, because today I posted that on my Facebook page.
Yes.
So many people missed it. I said, what do you have in your hands? Right? Because I'm asking, because I want people to understand that God gave all of us something. And whatever it is that he wants us to do, we already have it inside of us. It was so funny because my daughter says, I have your grandson in my hand. It was so hilarious. I'm like, totally missed the point. Yeah. Oh, I have your grandson in my hand. So some other person said, I have the phone in my hand. That's how I'm seeing this, but I really was asking from a place of digging deeper. Yeah. What do you have that you can give to the world? What is that gift? What is that talent? What is that one thing? And it could be something in service. It doesn't have to be you can sing, you can dance, It's something that you have that you're good at, or something that you can get educated on, get knowledge on, and then be able to provide that. Yeah. And so that's how you and I started. That's how you and I became partners, because I saw what you were doing and it excited me because I needed to understand more about money. And not that I don't understand money, but the depth of how I want to grow as an individual from a financial perspective. And I saw you doing it. I needed to jump on that bandwagon, because we don't have to recreate the wheel. That's the thing about life. There is nothing under the sun that is going to be done for the first time, except for Elon Musk going to go live on Mars or something like that. Right? That's done, but everything else is pretty much done already. So we're not that original per se. Yeah. So if you see someone walking in the path or walking in the lane, and that's the lane that you're attracted to, connect with those people. See how you can get involved. Sometimes you have to serve, right, before you earn the service, right? So how can you serve? How can you be a part of that? And how can you get knowledge, get connected with mentors and accountability partners, and, get yourself ready for that thing in which God gave to you. So again, I'm excited to have you at the conference. So tell me just a little bit, because we don't want to give this away. What will you be sharing at the conference so people know?
Oh my goodness. So because at the conference, we're going to be talking to career professionals, and we're going to be talking to entrepreneurs and things of that nature. I'm excited because I'm going to be sharing some very practical tips with you to help you to be the master of your money. Listen, people, money is just a tool, but the way most of us live, we live slave to money. And so I don't want people living slave to money. And it has nothing to do with how much you make or how little you make. It's really about how you manage what you have. Well, first of all, it's about the mindset, right? It's about the mindset. And so we have to understand that money is just a tool, right? Money is just a tool. We have to understand where it comes from. It's amazing when I ask the question. So I'm not giving the answer tonight, because I'm going to ask the question at the conference, where does money come from? It's amazing the answers that I get. But, here's the thing. Money's just a tool. And so that's what we're going to be talking about. And I'm going to be talking to you about how to be the master of that tool. How can you better manage your finances? What kind of cash flow system can you use? that will allow you to know your numbers at all times, whether it's in your personal finances or in your business finances. Because believe me, I sit down with people all the time to consult with them on their finances, to coach them on their finances. And it just amazes me how time after time after time after time, people do not know where they are financially. They have
Wow.
no idea.
Yeah.
No clue. You know, they're afraid to look at it, you know, or just willy-nilly, you know, all over the place, you know. But I'm excited.
Yes,
I'm going
and for those of you who are not yet entrepreneurs but are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, you want to get in on this because you want to be able to have the foundation of the question that Lexi's going to ask you. I mean, that's a valid question. I know people that are in business right now because I have a mastermind group here in Charlotte as well. And I know people that are in business right now that I ask, where are you year to date in terms of what you have made in your business? And they cannot answer the question. Mm-hmm. And if I ask the question as to where are you year to date on all of the expenses, right? Because it's what you earn, what you get, plus your expenses, that's going to net whether you're making a profit or not, whether you're at the top, even, or you have a shortfall, right? So if you don't know what you're making and you don't know what you're spending as it relates to your business, whether it's your nonprofit, or it is, you know, your business on the side or your new business that you want to establish or start up, then you will not be able to have a full functioning business because you don't know from, you know, A to Z whether or not you're coming or going. And so many of us fall in trap. You know, Forbes put out something that says 80% of entrepreneurs will fail, like in the first 2 years, right? So the rate of, and it's so funny because every day there's a new entrepreneur, there's a new business owner. But if we're failing after 2 years, which means 20% of us are successful, why? 90% of the time is the money piece, right? Is the lack of really understanding it in a way that it propels us to become successful. So I'm excited for Lexi to be there and sharing that. Last question for Lexi. Lexi, why should they come to the conference? And then 3 takeaways for them.
Okay, so the question is, why shouldn't you come to the conference? That's the question.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I want to hear all the reasons why you shouldn't come so I can just debunk all of them. But listen, you should come to the conference, okay? Because this conference is called what? Victorious You.
Yes.
It's called Victorious You. My belief is that any and everyone attending that conference, you are going to be walking in a new level of victory after that weekend is done, okay? You're going to be walking in a new level of victory. The caliber of speakers that are there, everything that Joan has put into this and the planning and the information that she wants to give to you all, and not just information, right? Because this is not one of those conferences where you come and you take notes and then you go home and you put the stuff on the shelf and you don't look at it again, right? This is not that conference. This conference, you're going to be going home with actionable, practical things that you can use. In fact, you can begin making changes before you even walk out of that conference. So that's why you need to be in the room. You need to be in the room, you know, getting the energy off these, you know, speakers and off of Joan and off of the other attendees. You need to be in the room and get some of that energy so that when you go back home, you are on a new level of victory. That's what it's about. That's why you need to be there.
Awesome.
Here are my 3 takeaways for tonight. Here are my 3 things that I want to leave you with. I'll say this again because I truly believe this about every area of life. Mindset is everything. Mindset is everything. And so in turn, it's the same with finances. If you're going to win at this money game, if you're going to be the master of your money, it starts right here. It starts here. It starts with making a decision, resolving that you are going to be the master of your money, that you desire to be the master of your money. Because the truth of the matter is, I can teach you until you're blue in the face. If you have not resolved in your mind that you will be the master of your money, that you are the master of your money, there's nothing that I can do, right? So that's number one. Number two, once you've resolved in your mind that you're going to be the master of your money, then you've got to be open to being educated about money. Some of us have so many hangups, we are afraid of it. We really don't want to know where we're at so we can figure out where we're going. And just so many hangups, so many limiting beliefs, so many, but the education is out there. It's not hard. You go and talk to some of these financial, gurus and all these other well-known financial companies, and they talking all this crazy financial jargon and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to be doing that. So, the second thing is get educated, okay, about money, understand how money works. And then the third thing, implement it, for crying out loud. You can't just take the knowledge in and do nothing with it, but you have to implement it, okay? Mindset, shift in mindset, educate yourself, and then implement. That's what I want to leave with you all tonight.
Wow, 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 wow. Mindset, educate yourself, and implementation, doing it. Mm-hmm. Wow, that is perfect. So again, if you're just joining us, and for those replay viewers that will be watching this on the replay, my name is Joan T. Randall, speaker, author, coach, and I'm the producer and host of the Victorious You Conference that will be taking place here in the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina on October 5th and 6th of 2018. And this is one of my speakers and workshop facilitator for both days. So she will be doing double duty at the conference, but I'm so excited to have Lexi talk about money, because no matter what you're doing in life, especially when you're on this journey, finances plays a role. It's one of the quadrant in the cycle of life. So it is a big deal. So let's get over the scarcity mindset and the hangups about money, and let's get educated about how we can use it to leave a legacy for ourselves, our children, and our family. Lexi, thank you so much for being with me tonight. You're awesome. You're amazing. I'm glad we are partners, and I cannot wait for the conference so that people can see you in just your element.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yes, yes. And so that is it for us on Victorious You TV. It's a wrap. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, as always, for supporting the vision of Victorious You and the vision of the conference that's coming up. And if you're watching tonight, stay tuned. There are some prizes that I'll be giving out in the month of September, and you can only find out about those on this Monday Night TV Live, Victorious You TV. So you can only find out about those on the episodes of the Victorious You TV. So there are prizes for 3 of the 4 weeks in September. So a viewer will be winning something the first week of September, the second week of September, and the last week in September. So stay tuned for those. Share this broadcast out. If you're watching it from your page, just hit the share screen and share it to your audience, share it to your friends so they get an opportunity to see the video and to watch it. So with that said, good night. Thank you again for joining. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Peace out. Bye.